the hospital in what we both knew were his final weeks, my father held my hand, the hand he hadn't held in years, and said, "She told me you didn't want to see me. Every time. For 9 years. She said you were too busy, that you'd said cruel things about me, that you'd chosen your own life over your father. And I believed her, Alina. It was never true, was it? And I had to tell my dying father that no, it had never been true. Let me back up. My stepmother spent 9 years turning my father against me until he stopped speaking to his own daughter. And I never understood why until he was dying and finally told me what she'd been saying. My mother died when I was young, and for years it was just my father and me, close, devoted, a team. Then he married Corinne, and at first she seemed fine, warm even, but Corinne didn't want to share my father. She wanted him entirely. And a grown daughter who loved him was competition, so she went to work patiently, invisibly. She intercepted. When I called, she'd say he was resting and never passed the message. When I invited him to things, the invitation never reached him, or reached him wrapped in a lie about how I'd really meant it. She told him I'd said cruel things I never said. She told me he was hurt and needed space. She stood between us in the dark, wearing the face of a concerned wife, feeding each of us a poisoned version of the other. And it worked, because it was gradual and because who suspects it? Over 9 years, my father grew distant, then cold, then silent. I'd send cards that went unanswered. I'd call and get walls. I blamed myself, thought I'd done something, thought he stopped loving me because I couldn't see the woman standing between us, deleting me from my own father's life, one intercepted message at a time. I nearly gave up. I almost stopped trying. 9 years of reaching for a father who seemed to have chosen to disappear. Then he got sick. And somehow, a hospital, a moment Corinne couldn't fully control, he reached me. And he asked me the question that broke both our hearts. It was never true, was it? Backhand index pointing right, full story on the channel, link below. What my father and I pieced together in his final weeks, and how I proved to the rest of the family what Corinne had done, you have to see.